Hello, everybody. Thank you for taking your time out today to seek out and listen to my final presentation for this course. It's a little hard to believe that we're wrapping up and giving our final speeches, albeit this time a little bit under different circumstances, but nonetheless, here we are. And with that being said, I want to get into what my main topic is for today, and that is my career goals and a future company in which I would enjoy being employed by. And the company that I elected to learn a little bit more about and talk about is called Heritage Professional Associates, which is a therapy and a counseling center. Fun fact about this company is that it actually started here in Illinois back in the early 1990s. And although it isn't thought of as the global brand that a lot of the companies that my fellow classmates elected to talk about in their speeches, according to some of the people I talked to that work for Heritage Associates, they do have outreach services, both domestic and abroad, which is personally a huge draw because I love when people can take their time, energy, and resources and allocate them to the people who are a little bit less fortunate than us and honestly need it more. Personally, also, I've always had just a huge passion for the therapeutic field and for psychology in general. It's always been very interesting to me because it's always ever changing and there's always new discoveries being made, which just keeps you a little bit more on your toes, and it also adds a little bit more motivation and energy every now and again to find out something new about something that you're doing. I've always also just loved the therapeutic setting as it is. I do so much better with people one-on-one than I do in large groups, which is a contributing factor as to why I'm drawn to therapy and to be a therapist. Let's get a little bit more about the content of my speech. The first point I want to make is about the qualifications that you need to meet and be able to become a therapist. After you finish your undergraduate degree, which will most likely be in psychology and social work, you want to pick up a master's degree from an accredited university. And they also usually require you to obtain a focus in that degree, whether that be in examples in mental health practitioning, marriage and family therapy, or substance abuse counseling. Companies want to see that you're able to meet qualifications and deal with certain groups of people and give them the best possible therapy, rather than just take anybody that comes through the doors that needs help and give them what might not be the best possible therapy for them. You want to be able to handle a specific set of people and have a certain expertise, more or less, in your field. You're also required to obtain a state license. This is true of anybody else that works with people and have feelings and lifestyles and something on their hands, whether that be OSHA workers or physicians. Same thing rings true of a therapist. And these licenses need to be updated every now and again, especially when you go either domestic into different states or abroad to different countries, to prove that you're able to have the competency to work with people that are needing help. Now I want to get into the more important part of my paper, which are skills that are needed to be a successful therapist and why I think I would be a good fit at a place like Heritage Professional Associates. Far and away, the most important skill for a therapist to have would be a trustworthy person. There is a term that is used in the counseling realm of ideas, and that is called the therapeutic alliance, which is the #1 best predictor for successful treatment. More or less what the therapeutic alliance is when the patient is able to feel comfortable and able to feel they can talk about anything they need to with their therapist. Without this, and with being more closed off to their therapist, they're not going to be able to receive the help that they need because they don't feel as if they can tell them everything they're feeling or needing. So being a trustworthy person is far and away the most important thing that a therapist can have, skill that they can have. The second skill of the most important skills is to be able to be communicative. What a person in therapy and what a patient is looking for is to find out more about themselves in the end and to find out how they can become better. These things need to be clearly laid out by a therapist and easily understandable. If they're not, there's really no point in coming to treatment, because if you can't understand what you're supposed to be doing or can't understand what's wrong with you, you're probably just going to keep doing the certain things that you've been doing before because you don't understand what to change or what you should change. Also, the last thing that's needed, not the last thing, but one of the more important skills that's needed for a therapist is to be able to be a critical thinker. Not everybody that comes in to a therapy setting is going to have the same symptoms and the same treatment plan. You need to be able to adjust to unique people and create unique treatment plans for them. So that being said, why do I think I would be a good fit as a therapist, especially at Heritage Professional Counseling? First off, Heritage Professional Associates is a faith-based organization, and faith is something I take extremely important in my own life. Therefore, we share the same worldview. So I would feel completely comfortable following guidelines and following the way to treat people and how to come up with effective treatment plans for patients. We would have the same means and goals in mind, making it a very symbiotic and fluid relationship to be able to provide the best help to certain clients. I also think that working at a place like Heritage Professional Associates would provide lots of fulfillment and reward. Now, being able to help in a certain career isn't confined just to people like doctors and therapists, but I personally think that having physical evidence of taking somebody who needs help and seeing them get better and improve themselves is extremely rewarding and fulfilling and makes you want to come back and help more people, knowing that you're capable of doing such things. And in some certain cases, therapists aren't always paid the most amount of money. They're not in it for the money. They're in it because they want to serve other people and be dedicated to their work. And this is always a value that's been instilled in me, to be dedicated to your work and to not chase after the things that can fall through and are very fragile, like money. You want to do it for your own personal dedication to your work and integrity. So in conclusion, I would fit well at Heritage Professional Associates because I share similar worldviews and values, and I think I have the skills like being a trustworthy person, being a communicative person, and also having critical thinking skills. I also love just the values that we share, and I do thank you one last time for taking the time to listen to my speech, and I wish you all the best going forward and to stay safe. Thank you.